Shots fired! Shots fired!
Oh, someone said we don't talk enough numbers on crunching the numbers. You're going to get a whole lot of them this week. We're going to start off with something that I did not know. This is why we do research before I come on. Since 2009, some of you weren't even born. 2009, 10 out of the 13 Super Bowl champs have had a winning record versus the spread through week 3 in the NFL season. 10 out of the 13. They've covered, 71.8. We'll call it 72. 72%. Straight up, outright winners, 79.5%. If you want to pick a Super Bowl winner coming out of week 3, go check out who's done that, and you would probably have a good chance of picking who might be winning the Super Bowl this year. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you some stats. We're going to give you some numbers. We're going to pick 3 prime games, and then I'm going to run through the list of the other games and just give you picks. Okay, so we've got a lot to cover. So let's Taco Bell. Love that bell, but it always makes me hungry. Taco Supreme. Actually, if you had Fry Supreme, delicious. All right, let's give you some numbers. Here we go. I write this stuff down because my memory isn't what it used to be. These are the NFL trends coming out of week 3. The away team, it doesn't get better than this. The away team is 23, 23, and 2, 50%. The home team, surprisingly, is 23, 23, and 2, 50%. I guess maybe there isn't a thing to home field advantage. Just saying. All right, the favorites. This is the one that really surprised me. Favorites so far this season are 18, 27, and 2. That's 40.4%. So the favorite is only winning 40% of the time. The underdog, of course, the rest of them. The underdog is 27, 18, and 2 for 59.6, which again makes sense. 59.6 plus 40.4 is 100%. So 60% of the games go to the underdog, 40% to the favorite. Interesting statistic. The away favorite, so this is where we dive into it a little bit deeper. The away favorite is 9, 13, and 1 for 44.4%. The home dogs are 13, 9, and 1, 55.6%. The away dog is 14, 9, and 1. That's 60%. And the home favorites, man, I'm not betting on home favorites ever again. 9, 14, and 1, the lowest, 39.6% for the home favorites. Over under trends, over 18. So only 37.5% of the game have been the over. Just ask the Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers. It's the last time I'll make a joke about that game. The unders are 29, which is 60.4%. And obviously there's been one push for 2.1%. All right. So there's your numbers from crunching the numbers. Now let's get into our pick 3. Here we go. Got my cue card ready. Sorry, I have a bad memory. Here we go. The first game that we're going to go through is Miami at Cincinnati. I'm going to surprise you with this one. Not going to lie. This is not what you think. Miami, favored by 3.5. The over-under is 47. Miami has covered 10 of the last 12 games. And Cincinnati has had 4 straight unders. 4 straight unders. Prior to that, they were 7, 21, and 1 as overs. What does that all mean? It means that I'm going to make a pick that no, I'm not picking Miami. I'm picking Cincinnati at home with the over. Straight up win the Cincinnati Bengals and the over. They're going to make you question everything you know about football this week because that's what football does. You think, oh, Miami 3-0, Cincinnati's off to a bad start. They don't look good. I'm going to go Miami. That's an easy pick. No. Cincinnati will make you question everything you know about football. Hit me up when I'm right. Next one up, These are my three three big picks this week. The next one, the Buffalo Bills. Let me down last week against the said Dolphins. At Baltimore, Buffalo, 3.5-point favorites. 52 is the over-under. Buffalo as road favorites have been road favorites 7 times, and it's been the under, and have had the under 5 times. Baltimore, the last four games, the over-under has been off by 11 points. That has been the difference between the over and under. So who am I going to pick? Bing bong. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to bounce back in a defensive battle. Don't expect them to score a lot of points. It's going to be the under 52. I'm taking the Bills -3.5. They win this game by a touchdown. Listen, MVP candidate Lamar Jackson's still going to look good, but Buffalo goes on the road and gets the win. All right. The last one for this week. Whew. Yeah, I know. Both of these teams have been laughable, and Kawhi agrees. Denver at Las Vegas. I don't know how Denver even has a winning record. They have looked horrible. They've been coached even worse. But they are under, obviously, all three weeks this season. Denver has been in the under. Las Vegas is the favorite. They're -2. 44.5 is the over-under. Obviously, they've lost all 3 games, so Vegas has not covered at all this season. So what do we have? We have a team in Denver that has been under every single week. We have a team in Vegas that hasn't won, so obviously hasn't covered in 3 straight weeks, colliding against each other. So can Vegas defeat the Broncos in Vegas and get off of their 0-3 start? And the answer is yes, of course they can. Vegas wins this game by a field goal in an under, in another sleeper of a game, unfortunately. Vegas gets the win by a field goal at home over the Denver Broncos. All right. So now we're going to go through the rest of the games. Whew. Okay. I say hello to your little friend. Here we go. Minnesota at Cincinnati. Minnesota is 2.5-point favorites. Did I say Minnesota? What did I say? I apologize. Minnesota at New Orleans, if I didn't say that. Minnesota at New Orleans. The Vikings, it's 9:30, so it's technically not in New Orleans, as I mentioned before. It's in London. It's not prime time. It's not prime time, so we're okay with Kirk Cousins. The Minnesota Vikings get the win against the Saints. Jameis Winston has been, I thought listen, I wasn't expecting him to be an elite quarterback, but he has been disappointing me this year. However, let's hope Alvin Kamara is healthy and he can play. Cleveland at Atlanta. Cleveland are 1.5-point favorites. I'm going to go with Cleveland in a close one, just because they've got so much more talent than Atlanta. They should win this one. Divisional games, Washington at Dallas. Had you marked this before, you would have said, who knows? Dallas are 3-point favorites at home. Cooper Rush is looking better than expected in place of Dak Prescott. I always go back and forth when it's these division games because everything tells me the Cowboys should win this one, which every time I do that with the NFC East division, it's the other team. It's probably going to be Washington, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to go with the Cowboys winning another one. I like the Cowboys this season, not like as a Super Bowl contender or anything, but I just like what they're doing. I like their resiliency. I like what I'm seeing out of them. Tony Pollard, not much of a surprise to anyone, but has really started to take over that backfield for the Cowboys. Seahawks at Lions. Lions are 4.5-point favorites. They gave up a win last week against Minnesota. I thought that was theirs, but in typical Lions fashion, they lost it. So what are they going to do this week when you count them out? They're going to go in and beat the Seahawks. That's what they're going to do. Tennessee and the Colts. Colts are 3.5-point favorites. You're saying, but the Colts just came off beating the Chiefs. They're gonna kill the Titans. Nah, give me the Titans with the 3.5. Give me the Titans with the points. Another divisional game. I'm thinking it's a field goal game, much like last week, if you recall, when I said Chicago, Texas is going to be a 3-point field goal game. What was it? It was a 3-point field goal game. I'm thinking the same thing here. So I'm going to take the Titans with the points. Speaking of the Bears, can I call a push? Like, how much credit would you give me if I called a push right? The Bears go into New York to play the Giants. The Bears are 3-point favorites. I'm taking the Bears, but in reality, again, this is going to be another like 2017 game, 17-14 game. That's this game is going to be. I'm taking the Bears, but I'm being honest, it's a 3-point spread, so it's going to be a push. If you have the ability to bet the push, bet the push. Or I think it's a tie, I guess, because you have pretty good odds with that one. So go with the push in Bears Giants. The Jags, the surprising Jags, have a tough go of it this week. They go into Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Eagles are 6.5-point favorites. Just go tick off the Eagles, and even if you're the Jags, take your 17-point minimum loss. The Eagles have held back-to-back weeks Minnesota and Washington to under 10 points. Their defense looks good. Jalen Hurts looks like an MVP quarterback. AJ Brown looks great. They got Devontae Smith the ball a ton last week. The Eagles they're the best team in the NFC right now. Let's just call it what it is. Right now, I'm not saying they'll keep it that way, but right now, they're the best team in the NFC. We go to the Steel City, Pittsburgh, the New York Jets going in to see the Steelers, who, when are we going to see Kenny Pickett? Sorry, Mitch. When are we going to see Kenny Pickett? It's time. In fact, let me go back to the Tennessee game. When am I going to see Malik Willis? It's time. It's time. So, anyways, to this one. The Steelers are 3.5-point favorites. The Jets coming in. Flacco looked horrible. What'd you expect? And expect the Jets to look horrible again, with the exception of Breece Hall. We want Hall to get the ball. Steelers cover the 3.5 points at home against the Jets. The Buffalo Bills, as I mentioned before, going into Baltimore. Oh, we already talked about this one, so we can go past that one. We got the Chargers going into Houston to play the Texans. Listen, if we're talking straight up, I'm still saying I think the Chargers win this game. Is Herbert going to play? I know that Herbert is hurt. Bosa is now hurt, and I believe he's now out for a little bit. The Chargers are starting to unravel a little bit. Look for the Texans to keep this one close. I don't think they win, but I think they keep it close. I'm taking the Texans +5. I'm taking the Texans +5. That's what I'm doing. All right. To Carolina. Oh, Carolina. The Arizona Cardinals visiting. Carolina is a 1-point favorite. I have no idea how that's possible. I'm taking Arizona, and I'm taking Arizona big. Someone got something wrong on this one. I think you're overvaluing the Carolina Panthers. Overrated, just overrated. Whew. So I'm going to take the Cardinals. Aren't the Cardinals supposed to go to the Super Bowl this year? Isn't that the new trend that we started a couple of years back? The team that's hosting the Super Bowl is supposed to make the Super Bowl. Like, I don't think Arizona got the memo. Let's go, Kyler Murray. Let me try that again. Let's go, Kyler Murray. Let's pick it up. It's a good comeback win that they had. All right, Patriots. How can you say 1-point Carolina, Arizona, and then the poor Patriots going into Green Bay and make them 10-point underdogs? 10-point underdogs against Green Bay? Man, is it because Mac Jones is going to be hurt? Is Mac Jones going to play? I don't care if Mac Jones plays or not. I'm going with the Packers. I'll give them a 10-point. I'm giving the New England. I told you the New England Patriots weren't going to be good this year. I will give them the 10 points. Green Bay by 17. Bet the over. This one's going to be woo. Run, Forrest, run. They're going to be running back to Boston when this one's done. Denver and Las Vegas, we already touched on. The Kansas City Chiefs, the Sunday nighter, going into Tampa Bay, a rematch of that Super Bowl debacle where they had Patrick Mahomes running for his life. This one's going to be a better game than that. I flip-flopped on this one a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I kind of went Tampa, Kansas City, Tampa. I'm going to go with Kansas City. I think Patrick Mahomes, after getting, if they didn't see, they're both coming off losses. Well, I'm see now. See how I'm flip flopping again? Because I'm thinking the Chiefs coming off a loss. Do they win two? Do they lose two in a row? Or do they bounce back? And I'm thinking, oh, no, they're going to bounce back. Oh, so it's going to be Tampa that loses two in a row? Well, how often does Tom Brady lose two in a row? So no, I should probably go. You know what? I'm going to go with. I've just switched my pick. You don't know. I'm clicking here. I switched my pick. I'm going Tampa Bay. I talked myself into it. Tampa Bay with the points. Um, home dogs. What did I say about the previous stats? I'm going with the home dog because the home favorite isn't the thing to do. All right, the Monday nighter. All right, the Los Angeles Rams going into the San Francisco to play the 49ers. I will mention, sorry, the Kansas City Chiefs and Tampa Bay game. I think they're actually moving that to Miami because of the hurricane. Stay safe, everybody in Florida that's affected by the storm, the hurricane, the tropical depression, whatever they're calling it. Be safe. Don't be dumb. Don't go out and storm chase. So they're probably moving this game to Miami. So it's a neutral site game, technically, because it's not in Tampa, although it's still in Florida. But I'm still with Tampa. Hey, never mind. There was talk about Tom Brady and Sean Payton connecting and joining the Dolphins. So maybe this is a preview of what could have been or what still might be. All right, to the Monday Nighter. Rams, the 49ers are favored by 2.5 against the Rams, which I don't understand that at all. The Rams should win this game, and they should win this game going away. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they're a lot better than we're giving them credit for. They still haven't figured out how to get the ball to Allen Robinson, which blows my mind. But you still have Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald. You still have that deep. There's too much going on. I know their offensive line has. I have question marks. I feel like they might want to bring Andrew Whitworth out of retirement, but I'm still going to go with the Rams winning this one. You can find me sports_fluent on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. Of course, here on the Fired Up Network. You can also check out the basketball show, The Panel, with Ticket TV, Chilltown Hoops, Low, The Legend of Winning. It's a huge, huge show if you haven't seen it. That's on Players' Choice Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays on Players' Choice, you can find me on Players' Choice Gridiron, where we debate football, past, present, and future. Thursday, Fluent and Chill is on Chilltown Hoops YouTube. And then we also have a bunch of IG, TikTok, Twitter, that's sports_fluent again. Until next week, now you're more fluent.